Now, there can be situation when you have many loops, many cycles, and in a specific iteration of a cycle, something is happening. Okay, so let's say I have created such kind of program which doesn't make that much sense in terms of the functionality, but just to show you a purpose of something that is called Watchpoint. So let's say hypothetically, we have a do cycle which is doing cycle for many hundred times. In this case, this is going to do like 500 iterations. And in a specific iteration, 436, okay, it's imaginary, but let's say hypothetically on 436th iteration, something is going to happen, and I want to stop the debugger in that specific part of the code so that I can start investigating of what is going on. Okay, so if we would use breakpoint as we have done it till now, we would usually do something like this, that we would, let's say we would have to stop on this if statement, but in 436th iteration. Okay, so what we would usually do, we would create a breakpoint, and then we would get to debug mode by pressing F8, and then we would start to investigate. However, what's going on is that if we double click on SY index, this is a system variable that is letting us know in which iteration of a do cycle we currently are. Okay, so we just entered a do cycle, and if we would need to get into 436th iteration, we would have to press F5 like so many times, okay? Or even if we would be pressing F8, okay, as I'm doing right now, we would have to press F8 436 times in order to get to that iteration of the cycle so that we can start doing the exploration. So instead, what we can do, we can create something that is called watch point, okay? So let me just remove this breakpoint right now. I will create and hit on this watch point button. And what we are going to do, we will say that we want to look for the changes on SY index variable, okay, in this program. And within a condition, we will say that for SY index, we want to stop if FY or once FY index equals 436, okay? And from that point, we want to stop in a debug mode and start analyzing. So if I hit OK right now, and now if I press F8, what is happening? Okay, so SAP has we're processing the program 435 times, and in a 436th iteration, we stopped here, and we can do the exploration that is happening. Okay, so usually this is handy when you are looping through internal tables with having lots of rows in that internal table, for example, and you need to explore a certain row in a certain iteration where something is happening. Okay, so in this case, what's going to happen, this condition is just going to get inside of if statement and it's going to raise exception. Okay, so something will happen, but usually this is really handy once again if after so many iterations you need to start analyzing deeper your source code, because something is happening and you need to find out what is really happening in there. So that's another way that is going to help you get as close as possible to the place that you are investigating, that you are looking for, so that you can avoid doing unnecessary F5, F6 iterations and just get you straight to the point of the analysis point that you are looking for.